Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here with Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Episode 18, Blood Runs Deep S-Rank Walkthrough. Now, for this mission, it's a little bit on the long side, it's a little bit on the frustrating side, but I'm going to be showing you how to get the S-Rank, and I'm going to be telling you what you should and shouldn't do, and what you can kind of get away without doing that I'm going to be showing you in the video. Now, in the video, I get 180,000, and you need 130,000, so there's quite a few things I do that you don't need to do if you're just looking to get through the level as fast as possible. Now, I do have my neutralizing pistol as always. I also have sleep grenades just in case I need them, and a stun rifle because I typically don't like to kill people, and not getting any kills gets you a huge bonus at the end. Now, what we're going to do is kind of go straight for the objective as we always have been doing. There's one or two cities or outposts along the way, and they are guarded by fences that you can't jump over, so you will need to get off of D-Horse, sneak through them to get to the kind of final encampment where you can find the prisoners. So there's going to be two outposts, like I said. In the second outpost, I get a little bit like trigger happy, and I go a little bit too far into the outpost before dismounting my horse. So just watch out for that. If you have reflex sight on and you have a good shot, you shouldn't really have to worry too much. Hopefully that's helpful. Now, I will rejoin you as soon as we reach kind of the main section of the mission, and I'll give you tips and pointers. As you're going through this first village, just go up the left-hand side. Make sure you're on the side of your horse so that no one can spot you and they just think it's a wild horse. You're going to want to make your way all the way to the back. Watch out for any enemies. Your enemies might be in a slightly different pattern than mine. If you took a little bit longer getting into the village than I did, there'll be an enemy right in front of me here to my left. I can take him out if I want to, but he won't really spot you if you're playing at night, so don't have to worry about it. If you make your way to the back of the city, like I said, I ran here, got a little excited as well, and I ended up getting spotted. So you'll probably want to just go more slowly, and you won't actually get spotted by this guy, but it doesn't really make a difference if you have a good shot. And even if they do have helmets, you should be able to hit them from like 30 to 40 meters. Take out this guy right here. He's your main objective, and Fulton extract him out, and then just climb the fence directly in front of him in order to be able to call D-Horse again. As soon as you do climb the fence, a vehicle will come into the base. Watch out for that. I'm just going to Fulton extract this guy out. You can also just kill him if you want as part of the objective. I will come up the fence here, watch out for the tank, call D-Horse, and ride into the main part of the mission. So I'll join you guys back up there.
I'll go with your decision. 5 targets remaining. Head for the Kurgenga mine.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Extraction arrived. Unit function added. Rivals approaching. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy
You've reached the mine.
detected.
5 targets are being held captive at that outpost. Targets should be at the Kurgenga mine. Find them.
Alright, so we've reached the main base, and there's a few things you should worry about. Obviously, there's usually a guy on the watchtower, watch out for him. And there is quite a bit of light in the area, so make sure that you're safe when you're getting towards the fence. Now, to get through the fence, you have to go through the door, so you'll want to probably lockpick the door. Tapping the lockpicking button will actually make you lockpick it faster. This is a fun fact that not a lot of people know about. Also, watch out for the gunship. It's going to spot you. And as soon as you get in, you're going to want to go to the left and then work your way around to kind of where my little B marker is. My B marker is not like perfectly accurate because it's really hard to kind of get the perfect spot in. But if you just work your way around the outside, coming in left through the gate, you'll make your way to the kind of central prison holding area where you'll find 2 locked gates. You'll go through one, then go through the other, and then it'll start a cutscene. Once you reach the cutscene, you're going to want to skip the cutscene in order to be able to finish the level faster and get more of a time bonus. Like I said, if this is your first time playing the mission, that's totally cool. You can watch the cutscene and it'll give a little bit of a deduction of points based on your time, but not a huge one, so you don't have to worry. Now, I've just been marking a few enemies here to make my life a little bit easier. Again, pacifism sometimes is the best kind of way to get through a section. So I'm actually just going to try to sneak my way through here without even killing most of these guys. Getting headshots is obviously pretty useful. You get 1,000 points per headshot. I end up getting 19 headshots in this playthrough. So that's an easy 19,000 points. I get an extra like 110,000 off of the score, off of the time rather, and then extra points for a whole bunch of other things like not getting any kills. So I'm going to get into the prison area right here, and then I'll rejoin you guys after the cinematic.
Analysis complete. Police supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Okay, so there's a total of 5 prisoners, and one of the prisoners will have to be carried out because they're injured or weak, and the other 4 will walk on their own. You can order them to go or to wait as long as you're within, I believe the range is 20 meters of all of them. If you're within 20 meters of them, you pull up your commands using LB or L1, and then you can select wait or go. If you select wait, they'll just sit there. Sometimes they'll just randomly start running regardless of whether you tell them to wait. And this is what makes this part of the level absolutely the most frustrating and inconsistent part of the game. Now, if you have completed side op 103, you can full-time extract children, as completing that side op will give you access to a specific person who can manufacture that for you. Now, if you don't have that ability, you're going to have to escort these kids out. You can actually finish the mission without escorting them, and saving all 5 of them gives you a 25,000 point bonus. You don't need that bonus to get the S rank, but it does really help, especially if you were sloppy and you got spotted more than once. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is go through the camp, and what is most important is speed through this section. You want to go through it as fast as possible so that the enemies that end up chasing you out behind you don't catch up to you before you make it to extraction. Hopefully that makes sense. But eventually, you'll make your way through most of this section of the level, and then enemies will start coming up behind you. Now, if you are too slow, they will catch up to the children and shoot them and pin them down, and you'll have to go back, and it'll be a lot harder to manage if you aren't really fast through this section. Now, obviously, because we're using our neutralizing pistol a lot, you'll probably want to be familiar with how supply drops work. You're going to probably need 1 or 2 supply drops on the way out because your suppressor will die along the way, which is what I'm going to be doing here. Now, the one I'm about to put down, I actually don't end up picking up because I reloaded a checkpoint. Again, if you make any mistakes, just reload the checkpoint. It's totally cool. Even if you get spotted, if you reload the checkpoint, the game is pretty generous in terms of how it rewards you for points. So even if you get spotted and there is an enemy combat alert, if you restart your checkpoint and then don't get one, it will give you the points for completing the level without any combat alerts. So here are these 2 guys on this campsite where I ordered my supply drop. I ended up taking both of them out and then having to restart the checkpoint, which is right at the same location. And I end up putting my supply drop a little bit further. Now, you'll want to watch out for the gunship as well, as it does sometimes get in the way. It'll sometimes occasionally spot you. So after you take out those 2 guys at the campfire, this is kind of the part where you're going to want to rush through to the end of the level where extraction is as fast as possible. There's going to be a total of 6 enemies in the next area, and then as soon as you clear all of them, enemies will start attacking you from behind, and that's kind of the hardest part. Now, if you really want, you can go and just take the one child on your back to extraction, put him on the chopper, fly away, and leave the other children behind. This will give you enough points to get an S rank as long as you were quick throughout the rest of the level, as long as you didn't get any kills. Obviously, if you didn't get any reflex and stuff like that, you should be more than okay. But you won't get a penalty or anything, and you should be able to get enough points even if you leave some behind. Now, you don't really want to leave them behind because it's beneficial to the story that you take them back and whatnot. So that's what I definitely recommend. Coming up to this next campsite, there's a total of 4 of them, so just be careful, be quick, make sure the kids are on go setting and not on wait setting. And like I said, make sure you're keeping an eye on your suppressor, and then eventually you'll come up through the ending of the level straight up to the chopper. If you were fast enough, you'll make it to the chopper with all 5 of the kids, and then you just load them in one by one and then fly away. Now, if the kids are too slow, which is what ended up happening to me, the kids ended up taking way too long to actually reach me, and the enemies did catch up to them. What will happen is they'll get pinned down in an area, and you'll have to go back to them, eliminate the enemies that are pinning them down, and then they'll keep running towards extraction. So what I'm going to end up doing is they're going to get most of the way to the chopper, and then eventually they'll get pinned down. So I'm going to just kill all the enemies that are nearby, and once I do that, they'll continue running to the chopper. Once they reach the chopper near extraction, they'll sit down on the ground, and you'll have to manually load each one into the chopper one by one. So that's all I have for this mission. The faster you do the end part, the better. If you get stuck and you don't actually end up being able to extract all of them like right away, you'll have to go back for some of them and kind of rescue them from any of the enemies that might have spotted them. Hopefully that was helpful. Make sure you leave a comment or subscribe if you have any questions or if you want to see future videos. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.
The chopper will be arriving any minute. Hurry to the RV. Arriving. They're on your back. Hold them off.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
This is B-Squad. On station at LZ. Target extracted.
Detected. The map support helicopter has arrived. Enemy presence detected. The map has been. A support helicopter has arrived.
Extracted. Is that everyone? Getting altitude. Alright, objective complete. Come on back to base. Just keep the target safe.
Map has been updated.
Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best, boss. The one and only.